Hi, I'm Keegan with the Econ Tutoring Center, and I'm here to talk a little bit about the chain rule, which is a rule for computing derivatives of functions that are kind of composite functions. So let's go ahead and get started with the rule. So suppose we have a function h of x equal to f of g of x. And then the chain rule says that the derivative of h with respect to x is equal to f prime of g of x times g prime of x. Okay, so now let's go ahead and apply this rule to an actual problem so that you can kind of see how it works. So let's say we have a function h of x equal to e to the 2x. So we can see that this is kind of a composite function, e to the something, and that something is 2x. Excuse me. Then we can start to identify the f as being e to something, and g is 2x, right? So f, we'll go ahead and use the placeholder u. F of u of the inner function is e to the u, and then u equals g of x equals 2x. Okay? Now, the key thing here is that when we take the derivative here, we're going to find that f prime of u equals e to the u using the exponent rule. And g prime of x equals 2 using the power rule. So with this, we can go ahead and apply this rule to find the derivative of h of x. So dh over dx is equal to f prime of g of x. So f prime of g of x. So e to the 2x. Go ahead and leave the inner function intact with the derivative. And then we multiply by the derivative of the inner function, and that gets us 2, because that's g prime of x is 2. And so hopefully that clarifies things a little bit. We're going to do another example, which may help to solidify your understanding. H of x equals the natural log of x squared plus 2x plus 3. Okay? So what we're going to want to do is identify the outer function and the inner function, take the derivative of the outer function and also the derivative of the inner function, and it will be kind of the derivative of the outer with the inner portion intact times the the derivative of the inner portion. Right? So once again, f of u, or f of the inner function, which we're going to represent as u, equal to the natural log of u, and g of x equals x squared plus 2x plus 3. Okay? So if we want to apply this rule, we're going to need to find the derivative of f and the derivative of g of g of x, right? So let's go ahead and take the derivative of these two inner functions in order to apply our rule. So f prime of u equals 1 over u, and g prime of x equals 2x plus 2. So here we used our log rule, here we used our power rule. Okay? So all we have to do then is substitute these things in to a chain rule. And so that's the result for that. Let's go ahead and move over here a little bit. The derivative dh over dx is equal to this outer thing times the inner thing, times the inner derivative. So 1 over x squared plus 2x plus 3. And that's our f prime of u, with u filled in as g of x. And we multiply this result by g prime of x, which is 2x plus 2. And so our final result is 2x plus 2 over x squared plus 2x plus 3. Hopefully that clarifies some things for you with the chain rule. It's definitely something that you should practice with, and but regardless, if you have any further questions, feel free to comment on the video or come see us in the tutoring center or ask your professor.